Today in election news. The leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, speaking in the western city of Bijar today, said with reference to the June 12th presidential election, quote, "The awareness of the people must shine through in the election in order to prevent those who will surrender to the enemies and embarrass the nation from coming to power." According to the leader's website, Ayatollah Khamenei, who was speaking in the 17th Shahrivar Sports Center in Bijar, said the participation of the people in various arenas was, quote, "the element that guarantees the progress and glory of the nation," and advised the nation, quote, "display your formidable participation in the election and maintain your effective and determining presence in the arena of constructive economy as well as other arenas." Khomeini also commented on the criteria for electing the president he called, quote, "the most competent person for the presidency," and said that if in the aftermath of the election people should be appointed to various centers of political and economic power who, quote, "instead of following the path of the imam and promoting the principles and values of the imam and the revolution, would want to naively create an opportunity for Iran by flattering the arrogant Western powers. This would be a disaster for the nation." Iran's presidential hopeful Mohsen Rezai said today that engagement and cooperation with regional countries would have priority in the foreign policy agenda of his prospective government, and added, quote, "My foreign policy doctrine will be made up of regionalism and cooperation, and my stance is to have effective and constructive engagement with all countries in the world, even with America." Rezai, who was speaking to Iran's Labor News Agency on the sidelines of his visit to the Persian Gulf province of Hormozgan, also emphasized that he would approach the new U.S. administration slogan of change optimistically, saying, quote, "We think that these words should not be left hanging in the air." According to ISNA news agency, Rezai also today, speaking in the Hormozgan Chamber of Commerce at the port of Bandar Abbas, said, quote, "There are great economic opportunities and potentials in the region, but the management of the country has not taken advantage of them properly for the development of the country." He then criticized what he called, quote, "the narrow focus of the current government's foreign policy," adding, quote, "Why should our imports to the billion-strong market of a country like India be limited to only one underground resource such as gas, which we export via pipeline? Why don't they try to take advantage of our extensive commercial capabilities with regards to a country like India for the development of our country?" Iran presidential hopeful Mehdi Karoubi, in a statement published today, said that he thinks it is necessary to have women as ministers, vice presidents, and advisors to the president. He added, quote, "In my government, it will be emphasized to ministers to benefit from the presence of women at the level of deputies, advisors, and general management of ministries in order to create experienced and specialized cadres, and recommendation of them to allot a specific quota for female managers could be a practical way of raising the level of women's employment status to management." According to the official website of the National Trust Party, Saham News, in the statement published today, Karoubi has expressed in his most important views and programs concerning to women's rights. In the statement, Karoubi notes that elections are one of the arenas in which women have always played a main role, yet have seldom furthered their objectives through the elections. He adds, quote, "As a candidate in the 10th round of the presidential elections, I think that the participation of women in society must be revitalized and strengthened, and they ought not to be used as pawns of the system in social and political arenas, and should not be used as a ladder for men to arrive at power." These stories and more at televisionwashington.com.